You are doing everything you're told to do. You wake up early, you work hard, you take care of your responsibilities. You have been learning, growing, trying to become better. And yet, something feels off. Not broken, not hopeless, just wrong. Like you're running in the right direction, but somehow it's still not arriving anywhere. And you cannot explain it, because from the outside, everything looks fine. But on the inside, something quietly keeps asking, is this it? Is this what doing things right is supposed to feel like? If you have ever felt that, this video is for you. Here's the thing nobody ever told you. There is no universal definition of right. Think about that for a moment. Every person who ever told you what was right, your parents, your teachers, your culture, the internet, the self-help books, they all had their own version. And most of those versions were not wrong exactly, but they're not yours either. They were someone else's map given to you as if it was the only map that existed. And you followed it. Because that is what you do when you're young. And someone older and more shortened than you hands you a direction and says, this way. So you went that way and you kept going. And the further you went, the more right it looked from the outside. And the more something inside you quietly kept not feeling like itself. Here's what is actually going on. Most men are not doing the wrong things. They're doing the right things for the wrong reasons. Not their reasons, someone else's reasons. They're exercising, not because movement makes them feel alive, but because they're told a man should look a certain way. They're working hard, not because the work genuinely means something to them, but because productivity is what a good man does. They're disciplined, not because discipline is something they truly care about, but because discipline itself became the goal. And when the goal is discipline, rather than something discipline serves, you end up extremely organized on the way to nowhere in particular. That is exhausting, in a way that is very hard to explain to anyone else. Because you cannot say I'm tired when everything looks fine. Here's the question that actually matters. Not are you doing the right things, but are these the right things for you? That is a completely different question. And most men have never been asked it. Not by their parents, not by their teachers, not by the culture they grew up in. Everyone is focused on whether you are doing things correctly. Nobody stopped to ask whether those things were actually yours. And so you never asked either. You just kept doing, kept optimizing, kept ticking boxes, without ever sitting down in genuine quiet and asking yourself, what do I actually want? Not what I should want, not what looks good, not what would make people proud. What do I actually want? And here's where it gets honest. That question is harder than it sounds. Because most men, when they finally sit with it, do not know the answer. Not because they're confused, but because they have spent so long that they lost touch with what was actually theirs. The things they genuinely enjoyed got called impractical. The directions they were naturally drawn to got called unrealistic. The version of themselves that felt most real got quietly replaced by the version that was most approved of. And now, after years of doing everything right, they're sitting inside a life that fits perfectly on the outside and feels slightly like someone else's on the inside. This is not a failure. It is actually the most honest place a man can reach. Because the moment you feel that gap between what you're doing and what actually feels like yours is the moment you're finally close enough to the truth to do something about it. Most men never get here. They stay numb, they stay busy, they stay moving, so they never have to sit with the question. But you sat with it. Maybe not intentionally, maybe the feeling just arrived one day and would not leave. But you're here asking the right question for probably the first time. So what do you do with this? Not a list, not a plan, not a set of new things to do correctly. Just one honest practice is start noticing when something feels genuinely alive in you and when something feels like a performance. Not to immediately change everything, not to throw your life away, just to know the difference. Because the man who knows the difference between what he genuinely is and what he inherited without choosing is the man who can finally start building something that actually fits. Not a perfect life, not a life everyone approves of, just a life when you wake up inside it, feels like yours.